They called it impossible. I called it unwritten. My certainty becomes currency. Doubt's walls turned to dust. When they saw as madness, I claimed as first draft. I named stars before knowing how to build the ladder, speaking summit language while standing in valleys. The impossible, just a story waiting for the right voice to call it inevitable. Welcome to the Rebel Poets Rising podcast. Dearest Rebel, what if I told you that something you've deemed impossible is simply a story waiting to be rewritten? See, I genuinely believe that impossible is simply an opinion. It's an escape hatch, a mind trick, a little smoke and mirrors designed to get you out of something difficult or challenging. If you're anything like me, you love to throw the word impossible into the ring when the dream feels a little too ambitious or when there's fear of an overwhelming objection to the idea. That avoidance of failure or rejection is strong, but it's not the approach or idea that ultimately moves the needle for you. Because what I've learned is this: when you reframe these so-called impossible challenges as inevitable, outcomes begin to unfold and everything shifts. The path forward isn't about dramatic leaps, but instead about writing the story one chapter at a time, making each step feel natural and achievable. Every single person who's ever created anything started out with an impossible dream. But those dreamers didn't just imagine success. They narrated it into reality through deliberate, persistent action. Think about it. The Wright brothers were told human flight was impossible, yet they didn't see it that way. They saw flight as an inevitable outcome of their experiments. Many believed that the sound barrier couldn't be broken and would destroy all aircraft who tried, until Chuck Yeager's 1947 flight, just 45 years after the invention of the airplane. Thought physically impossible until Roger Bannister in 1954, it was said that running a sub 4-minute mile was impossible, and he did his in 3 minutes, 59 seconds, and 4 thousandths. The eradication of smallpox, one of the most deadly diseases to plague humanity for millennia, was impossible to eradicate until the WHO declared it gone in 1980. And this is simply a fraction of fractions of percentages of what's been proven to be possible with time and determination. The same is true for your goals. That project you've been putting off, that business you want to start, that conversation you've been avoiding. None of these things are impossible. They're inevitable, but you have to commit to the process. Here's how to make the impossible inevitable. First, break it down. Any massive goal becomes manageable when divided into smaller milestones. What's the first tiny step you can take today? Second, expect resistance. The word impossible often appears right when you're about to break through. Recognize resistance as a sign you're probably on the right track. Third, build momentum. Small wins compound. Each step forward makes the next one easier until what once seemed impossible now feels like it couldn't have happened any other way. And fourth, surround yourself with believers. Find people who see your inevitable future clearly, even when you temporarily lose sight of it. I'm writing this because I can see something in you that perhaps you haven't fully recognized yet. The goals you've labeled impossible are actually your most important calling. It's your poetry, that spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. Your passion and belief in the inevitable, those things aren't random. They're specifically assigned to you because you have exactly what it takes to make them inevitable. So what's your impossible? What is it that's waiting to become inevitable? Today, I want to encourage you to tell someone about it, because here's to rewriting our stories. I'm your host, Kate Harris, and this is Rebel Poets Rising, a podcast for those who dare to rewrite the rules. Join me every week as we fan the spark of rebellion into a roaring fire, unite with fellow rule breakers and wake makers, and discover the power of our authentic voices together. Somewhere out there, someone needs to hear exactly what you have to say, exactly the way only you can say it, because your voice is the revolution we've been waiting for.
The Rebel Poets Rising podcast is a production of Istoria. To learn more about Istoria and the Istoria studio, visit Istoria.com. For more Rebel Poet resources, visit rebelpoetsrising.com.